Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is September 20th, 2020, and this is episode 93. Today we're taking a look at Lady Mechanika, or Mechana, I'm not sure, or Mechanika. I'm not sure how you say that. This is May 2020. This was a free comic book day issue. Now, if you are familiar with what's going on with the comic books, they're getting these all different times. I didn't notice this one before, but I picked it up. It is by Joe Benitez, and I don't know if there's anything else I want to mention. It is what they consider issue 0. Actually, it is a reprint, too, of what came out maybe in 2010. I believe that was the time. Joe was working with Peter, oh boy, I can't remember his name. Peter Streig something? Let's see. Peter Steigerwald, and I've met him before. I apologize to that, Peter, if you're listening. But this was a Aspen Comics collaboration at the time. I do believe, I don't have anything to go that far back on it, but it appears to be all Joe Benitez now, and I think he does this on Kickstarter, but it's also available at comic book stores as he is listed on Diamond previews as well. So the comic book stores can order this. I would take a look at this cover real quick. Oh, I want to mention that I got this and this cover looked really familiar to me, and I actually have the trade. I picked this up a couple years ago, never read it, meaning to. I had a stack of things I've been meaning to read, but I had some eye problems this past a couple of years now. It's been 2 years, and so it's really kind of slowed down my reading a bit. So I did pick it up, and I said it looked familiar, and it is the original cover of the 0 issue. Now, I don't know if the 0 issue came out after the first issue was really successful, but it appears to have like the first 6 issues, including the 0 issue, in this trade. And you can see the coloring on it is a little bit different. This is more contrasty. This is more lighter. However, the lighter allows you to see some of the weaponry a little bit better, I think. And of course, they have a spot for the comic book store to put their own brand in there if they wish, since this is the free comic book edition. It's free to the customers. It's not free to the comic stores, so they have to pay for these. They might not pay as much, but they do have to pay for it. This is a reprint, so obviously it probably didn't cost Joe Benitez too much to make it, since it was already made. He just had to reprint them and have the stores order them. So, first impressions of this, as you can tell, she's very attractive. As you read the story, you get to learn a little bit more about her. Apparently, she's got artificial limbs, arms, legs, and also her eyes glow red, so they've been eye implants in there. And I'm assuming everything else on her is real human. Like I said, she's beautifully drawn. It is a steampunk era type comic. People dressed in Victorian style clothing, and there's like mechanized blimps and things like that in the air. So they got that kind of industrial look to it as well. Now, the twist on her character is she's got a bit of amnesia, so she doesn't remember her former life, even really what her name is. And this Mechana is actually the name of the city. But so I guess she's got that nickname, Lady Mechanika now, or however Mechanika, however you want to say it. But she doesn't remember anything previous to her getting these artificial limbs. So she doesn't remember her childhood. She doesn't remember having regular arms and legs. And that's part of the mystery. She's also a bounty hunter and someone that is hired to fight monsters as well. So the stories are pretty well written. I did read, this one actually has like I said, the 0 issue, and I think it might have been printed before in some other form. I don't know if it was ever for sale that way, but it does appear in the trade, complete in the trade, the first trade, and it's very good. The art in it is just spectacular. Peter Is that his name? Am I saying it right? Steiwald? Yeah, Steigerwald. I'm sorry. Peter Steigerwald did the coloring on this, apparently. And he probably helped out on the art, too. I know he's a very good artist in his own right. So you might want to check out him as well. He's got his own line of books, and he's still very involved with Aspen Comics. I don't know about Joe, though. I didn't really look up him too far. So as you can see, there's a lot of action in this, a lot of nice posing. In this first zero issue, she comes across this creature she's been hired to hunt down, and it turns out she has a connection with this creature from the past. She doesn't know it at the time, but the creature realizes that it actually speaks English once they stop fighting. She has shot him with a tranq dart, and so he's a little woozy. She also feeds him. So she shows that she's very compassionate. She's very intelligent as well. Apparently she's got a lot of skills with different weapons. Her eyes allow her to see very well, and she's got, I guess, these mechanized goggles that help her to even see more closely. Now, she was hired to go after this, they call it a demon of Satan Alley, and this is, I believe this is in the town or the city of Mechana City, or Mechanika City, I don't know how you say it. But they should give you a little phonetic pronunciation chart somewhere in here. So she strikes up a conversation. It turns out this creature knew her before she got the limbs, and just as she's getting this information out, the creature is shot by another band of group, the Blackpool Armaments Company, that also was hunting this creature. But they wanted to take this creature alive because this creature's also got mechanical limbs on it, and so they wanted to study it. The armament owner wanted to study it and come up with new weapons if possible. So he's really ticked at the person that shot him, and he'll shoot him later in this comic. So I don't want to get too far into it. Very good. You can see she's a good fighter, and these robotic limbs actually give her a lot like super strength and super quickness, so she's able to take out 3 people at once. I wouldn't call this really woke as much as just she's half robot, so she's got some extra power there. But it actually goes through the first zero issue all the way. Then you get this nice shot of the trades that are available, and I think there's 5 or 6 of them. I think there might be one on Kickstarter right now. I should have looked at that. I thought I saw something recently. And this is, of course, the trade that I showed you earlier. Boom, boom. Now there's 2 smaller stories in here, but they're just kind of teasers. But like this one is called the Clockwork Assassin, and it looked really good from what I read. It's almost like it's a robot dressed woman. I guess she's robot. Maybe she's half just like Lady Mechanika, but that's also the person that they confuse her. She's kind of like a Jack the Ripper type character, and they think Lady Mechanika is actually the person doing all the killing. So that looks like it's a very good story. I might check that out in the future, and that's the number 4 volume. And then the other story was also very good. It's volume 6. And this one had to do with strange happenings in a city where she is asked to look into kind of a mystery. And it ends the short teaser ends very shockingly. You can see the person she's chasing actually has the same kind of eyes she does, but his head's been chopped off by something unknown. So that's kind of the cliffhanger on this, and I'm sure the first issue of this particular or chapter of that trade actually goes a lot further into it than what I'm showing you, what I'm able to show you here. But actually, here's a little blurb about her as well. It's done by Benitez Productions. I recommend this highly. The stories are very exciting. The things are very well drawn. The mysteries are well. It does get a little bit wordy in certain areas, and I'll point out what I mean on that. Where, like, for instance, this page, you get kind of this every once in a while, and kind of slows down the pace of you reading the book a bit, but it adds to the story at least, which is great. So another recommend. I'm like on a good streak here. And this has been out a while. This is an oldie, obviously, but he is producing um, more comics in the same vein. We'll get like both of these on here so you can see the difference in the colors and the covers. I'm just very happy to be able to share this one with you because I do think it's a good read. And I have seen this guy, at least the California cons, there signing, and I thought this copy was actually signed. I thought I bought it directly from him, but I must have got it some other way. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe, please like, please leave comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. And as always, this is Indie Comics Jones from the Temple of Tomes bidding you adieu.